What's going on, everybody, and what's going on, folks? Welcome to the Deconstructed Top Podcast. I like to do a little bit of animation here going on because we got the New York Knicks on game one tonight. We're making it happen. It's going to be real quick, real short because I'm kind of like running out of time. The next game is tonight. I'm trying to get a little bit of saucy too, you know what I mean? And trying to enjoy the night as well. Responsibility. We got the Knicks game one. My finals breakdown, or at least game one breakdown. We making it happen. The New York Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs. I know some people like to say it is a rematch of the 1999 NBA Finals where we got. That's all I can say. Dave Robinson and Tim Duncan, what a beast! But you know what? This year's different because none of those players probably existed at that time. No, but more or less, it is something that they listen. You know, two teams play. Can this be the repeat, or can the Knicks just be like, you know what? We need to get this championship for the New York City and all those Knicks fans across the city, across the boroughs, Bronx, Brooklyn, Manhattan, Staten Island, Queens, and all that, and across the nation and across the world. Cause Knicks Nation, we already here. We making it happen. That's what I'm talking about. Cause hey, listen. I'm a wrestling guy, and these Knicks team right now, we are playing with Cero. Miedo. Let's go. We're making it happen. It's going to be a good one. I mean, real quick, we got Brunson and all that. Knicks haven't won a championship in 1973. We got Jalen Brunson, late in New York. Then we got Victor Wemby. Tall dude, young dude. 7'5", plays like he owns the whole court. I can't really say much about him, and wow, it should be very interesting. And this is a finals matchup again. We're gonna bring up to 1999. I know that a couple of people say, "Oh, but come on, David, that's not a rematch." But again, in the scope of sports, sometimes there are franchises that tend to play in the finals because that builds those kind of rivalries in the future. And obviously in the NBA, we got the Boston Celtics and the LA Lakers. Hey, listen, that's what's going on. So it's gonna be like kind of like a superstar type of feel energy throughout the San Antonio. So hey, I get it. You know what I mean? And yeah, listen. New York Knicks, we be playing on a 11-game player win streak. Ever since we lost game 4, like, against Atlanta in the first round, and I myself was like, this can't be. Am I bugging, or what's going on with that? We fire Tom Thibodeau last year for this, and Mike Brown and all that, and then, to say, hey, listen, for some reason, the echoes of Madison Square Garden just rose up and say, you got this, New York. Because the fact is that we lost those a couple of games against Atlanta, a little bit close. So we kind of just say, you know what, dialed up. I often have said when it comes to the New York Knicks, for some reason they tend to last year and the last couple of years switch on, on and off. And then this year, we kind of been doing the same, but now we collective have the good players coming from the bench, Brunson, Bridges. Oh man, what can I say? Cat and all those people. Now we got that switch on and just leave it on. Even if we get electrocuted, no funny stuff, but I'm just saying it should be a good one. But you know what? San Antonio, despite the fact that they went to game 7, they beat the defending champion OKC Thunder. And really, OKC, they give it all. Hey, they are the defending champion after all. But let's see. History have shown that the team that comes here with the most rest is the team that wins. You might say, okay, San Antonio probably has 3 or 4 days less to rest than the New York Knicks. But you might say, hey, listen, David, when it comes to that, these are young cats out there. You know what I mean? These are not crazy players over the age of 30. I mean, for the most part, these are still young cats, so they're going to recover. But once again, sometimes that energy, because keep in mind, even though San Antonio might have rested, but the fact is this, resting is resting, but you still have to practice. Practice? Someone about talking about practice? No, but I mean, you have to. So the thing is that the Knicks need to kind of continue that momentum. We need to kind of continue. Leave that light on. You know what I mean? Leave it on. Leave that on. Especially Brunson and all those cats. The Spurs, they, you know, because even though the Spurs is the number 2 best team in the league, the fact that you have like 62 wins or whatever wins, 61, 62, the fact that you're still number 2. Any other NBA season, you'll be at number 1. They're playing with a chip on the shoulder to say we the best. We're not the best we're not just the best in the West, but we're the best in the whole NBA. And can this be something? Can the Spurs be that team that this can be the beginning of the dynasty? I'm hoping not. Because my Knicks, can this be the beginning of a little dynasty or good run? Absolutely. Absolutely. So, we got a couple of key matchups. And one of the things is that it comes down to what exactly? Brunson and Wemby. I'm just saying, they even though one is a guard, small dude, and Brunson, and with all due respect, with the title of being small guy, come on, man. Stop playing Becky Hammond. Relax out there. Brunson knows how to play, and Wemby, Wemby, even though despite the fact that people covered him back in whatever he was doing in Europe, the fact is this, a lot of people kind of say, he could be like a little Kevin Durant, a little bit too slim for the NBA, but the fact is this. Durant have had a successful NBA career, despite his his stature, very, slim in the body, you know what I mean? But the fact that they bang hard. It ain't like these people just disappear through the sun or something like that, through the wind. I'm like, no, they play hard. So one of the things is that, hey, we need to control the tempo. And Brunson is that dude that, his father played with the Knicks. He was drafted by the Knicks. So he comes from that basketball lineage of something. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to his pops and his parents out there. So he, since a young age, he probably picked up a Christmas present that was all basketballs. No funny stuff. All balls. You know what I mean? He's like, hey, dad, been around players, been around the fact that was he around the 1999 Knicks? The fact that this young fella has been around basketball, he smell it, he sense it. He like a Spider-Man / Wolverine of whatever it is. The dude is basketball. And Wemby, what the hell he came from? Again, historically speaking, most 7 feet players, 7 feet, 7'2", 7'3", who are a bit on the slimmer side. Hey, listen, he's young, so this is his second year. But the fact that sometimes they tend to be a little bit fragile and a little bit nimble on the feet, but Wemby, I'm telling you, Wemby's a different beast. So that's all I can say, because Wemby could just put in some 20-plus points. He's going to get 10 rebounds. Just putting his hand up, that's it. You don't even need to jump. And he could just hit blocks like poof, got poof. I mean, again, he doesn't even need to jump. He just goes like that. Remember the Kemba Mutombo? No, not in my house. When we could just do that. But just with a pinky, be like, no, not here. But that's fine. With that French accent, yeah, no here. You know what I mean? But the fact that Knicks need to kind of be physical here. Cat Robinson, who's hurt with the pinky, maybe, let's see. But the fact that the Knicks need to be a little bit physical, especially with Wemby. Now, I know that Wemby's a little bit fast. He could just do something like that. But, I mean, sometimes in the NBA, we might allow certain plays. I'm over here winking, but we might allow a couple plays here and there. I'm not trying to say hurt the kid. I'm just saying that play physical. Despite that he is young, I mean, again, he got 7'5" of something that you could just, play some physical. The Spurs, they do tend to play a lot of the pace. They tend to relax. They tend to play a little bit of old school. Their former coach, Greg Popovich, one of the greatest of all time, tends to kind of play big. No funny stuff. But the fact that, the Spurs have had a history, the team that was that franchise, that team that was that destiny, to have dynasty, I'm sorry, to be that right there, whatever it is. It was David Robinson and Tim Duncan, and fast forward, or, during David Robinson, once he retired, the fact that the Spurs play big, they play to a pace that surrounds the center, so that's going to be Wemby. So the Knicks need to, despite that we outpace, we need to, let the captain, let Brunson just focus on whatever it is, defense, rebound, you grab it, and make sure that when you shoot the ball, make sure that Cat is playing outside so that Wemby might not be in the perimeter. Because if we could just take Wemby off the rim, we could just probably do some work. Just focus on that defense for the Spurs. Hey, listen, they probably would match up well against the Knicks. Run. And the fact that they're a young team, so their energy is going to be elevated, like pound. They're going to do some crazy stuff. Oh, there you go. So, I'm just saying. I mean, as far as the Knicks, even though we got a couple of more of the experienced players in terms of age, in terms of been there, done that, I think that's one thing that we might forget. Even though the Spurs is this team, but the fact that Knicks in the last couple of years, we've been there. The fact that we played we got bumped last year against the Indiana Pacers. They went to the finals. They lost that NBA Finals to the OKC Thunder. But the fact that we played that team. We done that thing with Boston. We bang hard with Boston. But Detroit, hey, listen, Detroit, it's a great team. They just happen to fall short. And, for Draymond Green to say, well, in the East, whatever the case might be, this is the chance for the Knicks. Because the fact is this. We've been in that little pool of whatever nonsense that you might say, garbage teams in the East. The fact that here in the West, again, youth is youth with San Antonio, but they had experience with the Knicks. Hey, we got that little matchup going on. In regards to, look, and the depth with Carl Anthony and Bridges, Hart, and all that good stuff, we're going to play against the young players. And I think that if we get on this little big lead, and let's say Wemby gets into like little foul troubles or something to that effect, I think that the young players might be rattled. And I think that this is a perfect example. Wherever Wemby goes, the young players will follow. So if Wemby's a little bit rattled, not playing well, missing his shots, taking wild shots, or whatever the case might be, I think that's going to be an issue. So I think that young core of the Spurs team, you just got to keep just got to keep watching it, because again, Bridges and Towns and so on and so forth. Don't mind me. I'm just a little bit over here like maybe. Did a lot of networking today, a lot of podcasting. So in the last 24/7, because we got go New York, go. So game one is gonna be about you're gonna have the feel, the nerves, and so on and so forth. But I think this Knicks team, again, as a Knicks fan, Knicks team, they together, so they feed off each other. The fact that against the Cavaliers in game one, that we was down like by 20 points or whatever the case with 8 minutes, 7 minutes. The fact that we would just focus and Brunson step up and talking about the guys like, hey, come on, let's go. We just came off a big win, destroying, demolishing team, and guess what? The Knicks just turning up. And they just looked hard on that sweep on the basis of that fourth quarter. So that's going to be definitely interesting. It's going to be San Antonio. Again, San Antonio, even though they have the home court advantage, and they favorite on this one because of the home court and because of the best record or whatever it is, the Knicks kind of match up good. they kind of match up. And then, we had the NBA Cup situation going on early in the year. Again, it was months ago. San Antonio's much better team, but I'm going to say that the Knicks are a much better team than since then, especially in the last couple of weeks. We've been just in that trajectory. There's a saying by one of my favorite wrestlers right now, Jacob Fatu. Let's go. Is that, hey, listen. What's that saying that, hey, goes? All gas, no brakes, basically. Something to that effect. It's a nod that, hey, listen, you just going, you ain't stopping. And I think that the Knicks, for this game, to set the setting, you start wherever you finish in Game 4. Just use that extra energy. Because you got to keep in mind is this. You got to test the San Antonio Spurs. If they really tired, and then they haven't gotten full rest, then you test them out because you're supposed to be the team that has the most rest. And you knock them on the boom. You knock them right there. Bam, 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 boom. You do a couple of things there. You just want to kind of get that feel. And that's what I say. I understand that Game 1 is like kind of like that boxing fight. Yeah, you want to get the feels, but at the same time, you know what? Just relax. Just go crazy. Push the tempo. Go on a 10-0 run or whatever the case, opening the first 5 minutes. If I see that the Knicks are winning like 20-8 or something like that, and that tempo, I think you got to be, I think that, I'm not going to say I think. I believe San Antonio will be a little bit rattled. Tired, yes. How can they overcome their tiredness with youth? So props to that. Should be an interesting first half. And then, I'm pretty sure that San Antonio is going to be kind of, you got Greg Popovich, even though he's not the coach, he's out there somewhere watching. I'm pretty sure he's going to tell them, hey, listen, just relax. But I'm going to say that if the Knicks start with that run, a 28, 20-8 run or whatever the case might be, yeah, I think that's going to be the difference. But if it's me, you already know. I'm rooting for New York, and we make it happen on Game 1. We got to push that tempo. We got to just continue to put that press the way we've been doing it against the Cavaliers, against the Sixers, against Atlanta in the last 3 games. Just go all crazy, 100 miles per hour, nonstop, because we got to bring that orange and blue skies all the way to San Antonio, Texas. People are going to say, oh, San Antonio, Texas, remember the Alamo, remember the Knicks. That's for sure. But anyways, hit up the like button. Feel free to comment. Let me know who you're going for. Or we make it happen for the New York Knicks because we are go New York zone. Let's get it. Anyways, I'm out of here. Your boy Deconstructing Top Podcast. I'm all over the place on the YouTube as you're watching, and on Podbeam as you're listening, and on Apple, and on Spotify. All that good stuff. Let's make it happen. I'm out of here. Peace.